Hi Aquarius, welcome to July, and in this video I'm going to talk about the transits in July. Looks like we have a busy month ahead of us, so let's see. On the very first day of July, well technically on June 30th, we have the conjunction of Sun and Mercury on the 8th degree of Cancer. So Cancer for you, that is your 6th house. So 6th house rules our work, the work that we do every day. It's our routine, our health, and then also our pets. So those themes are somehow active at this conjunction, and so think of it this way: the Sun illuminates and Mercury is our thoughts, so we might come to some sort of understanding regarding our work, health, routine, or pets. Okay, there might be some news regarding those matters. So yeah. And then on July 3rd we have a full moon in Capricorn on the 11th degree of Capricorn. For you, Capricorn, that is your 12th house. So the full moon is in your 12th house, the sun is in your 6th house. So work and rest, those two topics are activated at this full moon. Yeah, like maybe you work too much and that's why you need rest. Yeah, this full moon will make it clear to you. And the thing is, don't worry too much. This is not something scary because the full moon makes only positive aspects. It makes a trine to Jupiter in Taurus, and it makes a sextile to Saturn in Pisces. Remember, Capricorn is ruled by Saturn, so when the ruling planet makes a positive aspect, it's like extra good. So yeah, you can expect this full moon to be not as crazy as like badly aspected full moon can be. When the full moon is badly aspected, like the one we had in June, we can be overly emotional, sensitive, like anxious, irritable, like on the edge. Yeah, everyone is like that around negative full moons. If you remember in June, like that full moon had two T-square aspects in the sky on that day, so people were like really anxious, emotional on that full moon. I definitely was 3 days after that full moon. And you know, you can feel the effects of the full moon either like 2 or 3 days before the full moon or after. Okay, so yeah, but this one, the full moon in July, is a good one. It makes only positive aspects. So yes, you can expect people to be emotional, but more in a positive way, because full moons rule tides. Think of it like as the water on the beach. During the full moon there's like lots of water, and since we are 80% water, we're also full of emotions on full moons. Yeah, but since this full moon is positively aspected, you can expect your emotions to be full, but in a positive way. And since this full moon occurs like right before July 4th, so maybe it will show itself in a way that you are celebrating with your friends, you're feeling happy emotions. Yeah, so I think that's what is going to happen. And since 12th house is the house of rest, I would say make sure you take time to give yourself a break. Okay, don't work too much, don't overwork yourself, otherwise your body is gonna force you to take a rest. Okay, so yeah, on July so full moons bring culminations, and this one is a regular full moon, so you can expect like some minor culminations. Don't expect like life-changing transformations, major endings. No, not like that. And those things happen at lunar eclipses, but this one is regular, so you can expect some minor culminations or results. On July 6th we have a mini T-square involving the moon, Venus, Mars and Uranus, but it's gonna last for only 1 day because the moon moves fairly quickly. It spends only like 2.5 days in a sign. So yeah, on July 6th people can be moody. You might be moody yourself, so be patient with yourself and with others. Okay, it's gonna be active for only 1 day. And then on July 9th we have the last quarter moon in Aries on the 17th degree, so in your 3rd house. Like the reason why I'm mentioning this is because the last quarter moon is a time to start wrapping things up that began with the June full moon, new moon, with the June new moon. Yeah, so the things that started with that new moon in Gemini, you will start wrapping things up, finishing up those things in order to get ready for the new moon in Cancer on July 17th. So from July 9th until July 15th, take that time to recharge your batteries. Don't start anything new because it's going to be useless. Don't waste energy. I'm going to give an example from my own life. In May, I was having some problems, like I was having a really difficult time. And so because I was in panic, I completely forgot about the transits. And I found some like project and I was like really excited. I was like, okay, yay. And so I packed all of my stuff. I was ready to go, but for some reason I couldn't find the means to get there. And because of the delays, like 2 or 3 delays, 2 or 3 days of delays, the other person was like, you know what, like let's cancel this. This is not gonna work. So yeah, I ended up wasting so much energy only to be like left with a canceled project. Yeah. And then when I looked at the transits, I was like, aha, that makes sense. Yeah, because I was trying to start things when the moon was receding, when the moon was disappearing. Yeah, so I should have started after the new moon. So yeah, anyway, don't repeat my mistake, okay? Don't waste energy. So take that time to recharge your batteries, to finish things up. Next, on July 10th, Mars enters Virgo until August 27th. Virgo, for you, that is your 8th house. 8th house is the house of intimacy. It's the house of sex. It's the house of like shared resources. It's the house of money that you owe or the money that people owe you, okay? It's the house of like credit cards and loans. So those themes are gonna be like energized somehow, activated, because Mars is an activator. It's like the engine, like on the airplanes. It's what makes things move. Yeah. So yeah, maybe you will be having more intercourse from that period until like August 27th. Maybe you will be more willing to share secrets, be more intimate. Okay. Maybe you will be spending a little bit more money because 8th house is money. Yeah, or maybe your partner will be spending more money because 8th house is your partner's money, and Mars is like hurries things up. Yeah, it makes things more impulsive. So yeah, next on July 11th, Mercury enters Leo until July 28th. So Mercury is gonna enter your relationship house for a couple of weeks, 2.5 or 3 weeks. Yeah. So you can expect to talk more about your partnerships, about your relationships, the way you relate to others. Maybe you will be talking more to your partner, okay? Texting a lot more, yeah. What else? On July 17th, you have a new moon on the 24th degree of Cancer in your 6th house. So you can expect some news regarding your work, your health, your routine, okay? It's going to be some minor news because, again, this is not a solar eclipse. It's not going to be some earth-shattering news. No. It's going to be some minor news, decision, announcement, okay? You can expect that after this new moon because new moons are like the turning a page. It's like the new energy, new month, basically. In astrology, new month doesn't begin with like the first of the month. No, it begins with the new moon. So yeah, this new moon makes a harsh aspect. It is opposed by Pluto on the 29th degree of Capricorn. So yeah, but it's not completely badly aspected. There is this trine from Neptune and sextile from Uranus. So those two are going to act like pressure valves. And the thing about new moons is that we are not emotional on new moons. Again, think of the tides. When there's new moon, the water is very far away from the beach. And so you can, yeah, in our bodies also very low levels of water. So we're not that emotional. So we might not feel the effect of this opposition from Pluto that much, but it's still there. Yeah. What else? On the same day that new moon occurs, we have North Node entering Aries. So for the past year and a half, the North Node has been in your 4th house. 4th house rules the place where we live. So some of you might have moved. Yeah, a lot of Aquarius has probably moved because of your work, or because you after you moved, you started looking for a new job because of that. Yeah, or maybe there was something regarding your family. Maybe some family member got married or something like that. Yeah, because fourth house is your family, the place where you live, stuff like that. And now all of that is gonna the focus is gonna shift to your house of communication, writing, learning, like curiosity. What else? Short distance travel. What else? Blogging, writing, your siblings, your neighbors. So those topics are gonna be in the focus for you for the next year and a half, starting from July 22nd. No, July 17th. Yeah, July 17th. And the thing about the North Node is that it returns to the same sign every 18 years. So that means the last time the North Node was in Aries in your third house was in 2005 and 2006. Those of you who are old enough to remember, try to remember what happened back then in 2005 and 2006 regarding your siblings, neighbors, neighborhood, the city where you live, like the short distance travel, those themes. Try to remember what happened. Something significant probably happened in your sibling's life back then. So again, something similar is going to happen again this time. Obviously the circumstances are going to be different, even though the themes are same, because the outer planets will be making different aspects this time. So yeah, and you guys have had an eclipse, a solar eclipse in your third house in April, so that should have given you a taste of what is to come for the next year and a half. Okay. Next, on July 22nd, Venus stations retrograde on the 28th degree of Leo. Wow, so that is your 7th house. Venus rules 7th house, so relationships are huge for you guys at this period. So from July 22nd for 40 days after that, you will have Venus turning retrograde in your relationship house. So you will be reevaluating those things, your values, your aesthetics, maybe how you relate to others, your relationship. Are you still happy in that relationship? Or maybe it's time to change something, or maybe it's time to have an important conversation, or you have been casually seeing someone. Now you might start thinking, like I actually want to commit to this person because I want to spend the rest of my life with them. Or you might say, actually, like I don't see our future together, so you decide to break up. Yes, decisions like that will be made around this Venus retrograde. I'm gonna make a separate video for Venus retrograde in July, so please subscribe and you can get that video if you want to. And then so the thing about Venus retrograde is it occurs in the same sign every 8 years. Last time Venus was retrograde in your 7th house was in July and August of 2015. Try to remember what happened in August 2015, like something regarding your relationships. Did you start some major relationship back then? Did you meet someone significant? Because something similar, those similar themes are gonna be again relevant this time. But obviously the outer planets will be making different aspects, so the circumstances will be different. It's not gonna be 100% the same. So yeah, like for example in 2015 Venus was making a trine to Uranus, but this time it's gonna be making a square to Uranus. You get the idea. So yeah. What else? On the same day that Venus turns retrograde, the Sun enters Leo, so relationships are really lit up for you guys. It's time to focus on relationships, how you relate to others, how you express affection, how you receive affection, okay? Self-respect, self-worth, how you spend money. Those things are active, especially with Venus retrograde in there. Okay, so on July 23rd, we have Chiron turning retrograde on the 19th degree of Aries. I mean, Chiron has been in your 3rd house for a couple of years now. And Chiron is the wounded healer, so it has been healing something, opening the wounds regarding your siblings, the way you communicate, the way you express yourself. Yeah, so it has been healing those wounds by opening them up, okay? For a couple of years now. And since Chiron is very far away from the Sun, we barely feel it. Unless you have planets around the 19th degree of Aries. So some of you might have, I don't know, your moon around the 19th degree of Aries, your Venus your rising sign, okay, then yes, you are definitely going to feel this retrograde, stationing retrograde. But other Aquariuses, it's going to be so subtle, you'll barely feel it. Because Chiron turns retrograde every year. It's not a rare retrograde. Okay, so on July 28th, we have Mercury entering Virgo until October 4th. So Mercury is gonna be in your 8th house for an extended period. Normally Mercury sprints through a house like 2 or 3 weeks. But this time it's gonna spend 2.5 months in your house of intimacy, shared resources. Okay, because it's gonna go retrograde in that house in August. But I'm gonna talk more about that in August. So yeah, you will start talking more about like intimacy. Remember, Venus is retrograding in your 7th house, so maybe you will be having important conversations with your partner, sharing secrets, making your relationship deeper in that way. Or maybe you will be having that conversation like, hey, we need to talk. Yeah, that kind of conversation might happen, but starting from July 28th. Okay, so yeah, this is it for July, guys. At the very beginning, you have that conjunction of Sun and Mercury in your work house, so you expect some understanding or news regarding your work, your health. And then again, your work matters are illuminated by the full moon in your 12th house and the Sun in your 6th house. But this is a good full moon, so don't expect it to be bad. Make sure you get rest, okay, enough rest. After that, we have a new moon in your 6th house on July 17th, so you can expect news, decisions, announcements after this new moon, around this new moon. So yeah, on the same day as this new moon, you have North Node entering your 3rd house, so communication, blogging, writing, expressing yourself, your siblings, short distance travel is gonna be more relevant for the next year and a half. Okay, try to think about that. 2005 and 2006, what happened then? You might remember some things, so you can expect those themes to be active again, but slightly different this time. Next, Venus is gonna turn retrograde in your relationship house. Aquarius, this is very important for you, so it's a time to focus on relationships. Reevaluate your relationships. Are you getting enough affection? Are you giving enough affection? Are you happy in your relationships? You will be reviewing those things from July 22nd and so for 40 days. And at the end of the month, you have Mercury entering your house of intimacy, shared resources. So yeah, as I said, you will probably be having some important conversations with your partner after July 28th, okay, in August. So I hope you guys liked this video, and if you did, please subscribe, and I wish you guys a pleasant July, and I will see you in August, hopefully. Bye.